What's up guys, Dabruski here. Today we're at Keith's house.
What's up?
This dude has the sickest shop at his house I've ever seen for a house shop. What we're doing is we're throwing the Civic on his car lift because the exhaust fell off. Also, I lost a bolt. This is from the transmission T-bracket in the rear that goes into the transmission. If this is stripped out, then we're either gonna have to Healy coil it, time cert it, or tap it and thread it with a new bolt. So basically what we're doing is we're replacing these two studs that were right here. Usually they're studs all the way through the exhaust, but somebody had lost them at one point. I'm replacing them with these nice shiny ones. What's going on with them right now is they're too long, as you can tell. Once it hits the bottom, there's a little bit left. Here's a stock versus that, so we're just chopping off with an air wheel and cutting it off. Alright, so Keith cut down those exhaust studs, and then we bolted them up and put the gasket on. It fits perfect. We had the header on there. I'm pretty excited. This guy came in clutch, and he had an extra Y-pipe from one of his race cars, and he's got a 2.5-inch V-band, and I wanted V-band really bad on this car, so he said I could steal these, and we're going to put them on this. So I'm super stoked. Now that takes from 2-bolt flange to a V-band, so now we're going to lift it up and do all that. Alright, so I remember I told you that's chunks of the cat inside the muffler. That's why the car was gradually getting louder. I'm glad we're doing this. Can't even see through that thing. Alright, so he's letting me drive his baby. I'm not gonna lie, this car is insane. Like, full on, oh, hope you like that fast screen. Full on race car. He's got like the full cage and he's still got full interior. I'll do a video on this one a little bit later, but this thing is no joke. This is a street demon for sure. Okay, so we finally are getting to the exhaust after running around frantically looking for a new transmission mount bolt. The reason we haven't got this done yet is the bolt was too short. We ripped out all the threads, so we went to my house, which is like way across town from Keith's house, and then I looked through all my bucket of bolts, and I'm like, I can't find nothing. I remember my brother had like a junker Civic just laying at the bottom of the driveway, so I went in there and I sold the T-bracket top mount bolt, which is like 3 inches too long. Cut that down a little bit, beveled it, cleaned it up, and put it in. Keith did all that. And we put a bunch of Loctite so it stays. So I think tonight I'm going to order some torque mounts for the car that sit in front of the transmission right here. Right. So they mount in those 3 holes right there, and then they mount to this frame right there. Once I do that, then I can not worry about that bolt snapping off again. So right now we're just going to finish up the rest of the exhaust. And like I said, he had a 2.5-inch V-band that we're using. I am stoked. Finally getting to the reason why we're here, and we're getting it done. And we're getting it done a lot faster than I could do it in my driveway with those jack stands. Alright, so none of this is adding up right here, so we're gonna have to cut the flex pipe off and just weld it on backwards onto the header. We did get the V-band on tacked. So we finally got the whole exhaust welded up. It turned out pretty damn good. We had a couple little sections. We did end up getting rid of that cat. Welded the V-band to the flex, to straight, touched up some of these welds. Now he's gonna put some silicone spray on these just so they don't rust out. Got Bob Ross in the house. All right, so we got the exhaust up and bolted on. I got the studs on. I don't know if you can see those up there. They look super awesome. And I'm just gonna run you down the exhaust a little bit. We got this little V-band section welded on, and we did paint it so it doesn't rust out. We got this little section welded on. We did use a flex pipe, but we had to cut it off and mount it backwards. We welded it right here and then put a piece where the old catalytic converter was. Ran the stock. Threw a couple welds on this because it was cracking. Running it all the way to the back. Welded a new hanger right here. Well, we actually just welded the same one, just redid it. And then gonna have the exhaust come out to the back. We're gonna put that little muffler inside right there, and then we're gonna have a piece of 2.5 stick out. Since I did cut the rear bumper, it looks a little funny if I keep it low. But it's nice because everything's tucked. So it's now 5 hours later. We thought it was going to take maybe 2 hours. We rebuilt the whole exhaust. We got the new studs in, got all this, got the V-band, redid all this section, redid all this. Well, just got it to fit better. Redid the hanger up here, and then we just got a stock, whatever, thrush muffler from like O'Reilly's or whatever it is on here. And then we just put like a 2-foot section right here. And with the cut bumper, it's going to look awesome on the ground. I'm going to spray a little bit of silicone paint, and then we're going to start her up.
This sounds pretty cool. It sounds cool at idle. I like how it sounds. It's got like this like deep.
Listen to it now that it's warmed up. It actually sounds like a V8.